All right, let's dive into a simple story that honestly has a really deep message about how we look at our own struggles. It's a parable about a tiny little seed, but it shows us how the very things that we think are holding us down can actually become the source of our greatest power. So let's start right here with this question. Seriously, what if that one thing you're struggling with, that obstacle you feel is holding you back, is actually the key to unlocking a strength you never even knew you had? Just keep that idea in your back pocket as we explore the story of a seed that just refused to give up. Okay, so our story kicks off in the middle of a burning hot desert. We've got this tiny date seed buried under all this sand. And as if that wasn't bad enough, there's a huge, heavy stone pressing down on it. Now, this seed has a little spark of life inside. It wants to grow, it wants to see the sun, but it is just completely and utterly trapped. So what does it do? Well, it does what any of us would do, right? It fights back. It gathers up every single ounce of energy it has and just pushes upward against that stone. And nothing. Not a thing. It tries again, pushing with everything it's got, and still, the stone doesn't even budge. You know that feeling of just total futility? And this is that moment of despair. The seed just starts to cry, totally convinced its fate is sealed. I mean, haven't we all felt that? When you've given it your absolute all and that obstacle still won't move, it is so easy to believe that you're just trapped forever. But then, something changes. Just as the seed is about to totally give up hope, a gentle wind whispers through the quiet desert. It's a small thing, almost unnoticeable. But this little whisper carries a piece of wisdom that is about to change absolutely everything. This right here is the pivot point of the whole story. The wind's advice is so interesting, isn't it? It doesn't offer to move the stone. There's no magic fix. It just gives two simple instructions: stop complaining and look in a different direction. It's a call to change your perspective, not the problem itself. And this is the seed's big aha moment. It suddenly realizes that fighting the obstacle head-on isn't the only way. If pushing up isn't working, well, maybe growing down will. It's a total shift in strategy, from trying to break through the problem to finding a whole new path around it. So now we get to the part where the real transformation happens. And listen, this part isn't flashy, it's not fast. It's the slow, patient, and completely invisible work of just growing deeper. And this journey, it takes time, a long time. We're talking days turning into months, and those months turning into years. The whole time, the seed is just sending its roots deeper and deeper into the hard, dry ground. It gets tired, for sure, wondering if any of this is even worth it. But it remembers what the wind said, and it just keeps going. From the surface, you'd see nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyone walking by would just see a rock sitting on the sand. They would have no clue about the incredible, extraordinary journey happening right underneath. And that is so much like our own personal growth, isn't it? The inner work, the resilience we're building, all that silent effort that nobody else ever sees or claps for. After all that time, after all that silent, painstaking effort, the moment of breakthrough, it finally arrives. This is the big payoff for all of that unseen work. The seed is about to find the power it's been searching for. Just imagine that feeling for a second. After years of pushing through nothing but dry sand, its roots finally touch a hidden source of cool, life-giving water. In that single moment, something powerful awakens inside the seed. It doesn't just have hope anymore. Now it has real, actual strength. So now the seed starts to grow upward again. But look at the difference here. That first push was weak. It was born out of pure desperation. This second push, it's completely different. It's strong, it's patient, it's strategic. Instead of trying to move that unmovable stone, it finds the tiny cracks at the edges, and it grows around it. And when the seed finally breaks through to the surface, it's not some weak little sprout anymore. Oh no, it's a strong plant that over time grows into a towering date palm tree. Its branches are reaching for the sky and its roots are holding the ground tight. But its new strength is about to face the ultimate test. Suddenly, a massive sandstorm just rips through the desert. The wind is so powerful that it tears smaller plants right out of the ground, snapping them and tossing them aside. It is a force of pure destruction, wiping out everything that isn't deeply, deeply anchored. And yet, our date palm tree stands tall and proud. The fierce wind bends it, yeah, but it cannot break it. And why? Because of those roots. All those years it spent growing downward gave it a foundation so incredibly deep and strong that even the most powerful storm couldn't shake it.
So let's just break down the logic here, because it's so powerful. First, there was an obstacle, the stone, which seemed impossible. This forced an adaptation, growing deep roots. Then, when the real test came, the storm, the result was an unshakable strength. The problem was the direct cause of the power.
And this is the heart of the whole story. The very thing the seed thought was its biggest curse, that heavy stone blocking its way, it was actually the catalyst. It was the pressure from that stone that forced the seed to develop the profound, storm-proof strength it was going to need to survive later on.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Take a look at the heavy stone in your own life, the problem, the struggle, the obstacle you're facing, and instead of just seeing it as something that's holding you back, ask yourself this really powerful question. What future storm is this struggle preparing me for right now?